Yeah, always.
All right. All right. What's up, everybody? We're live here with Chris Bauer. I'm Lance from the Academy Kings. Um, just wanted to do a quick training today, kind of really not a training, more of an interview, more of a kind of a cool story. So, Chris, I'll let you kind of quickly introduce yourself, but I wanted to just kind of say, like, Chris has been a team member of mine for, 10, 12 years now, whatever it is. Both black belts under Vicente Jr. And so like we've had a lot of fun experiences and trips and stuff together. And Chris has an amazing story. He is what I call a lifestyle business owner. So Chris has a really great gym. Like you see his posts, there's 30, 40 people training every day. But Chris also gets to kind of travel a lot, compete a lot. So just kind of, I'll open up to you for a minute, Chris, and like whatever you want to kind of tell. And then we'll kind of ask some questions, how you did it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that sounds about pretty accurate. Pretty busy teaching classes. Classes are full, 30 up to 45 people per class, twice a day sometimes. And then, fortunately, I get to travel the world and do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and compete. Just living my dream and having fun, man.
Yeah. So right now, so Chris is a beast jiu-jitsu guy, wrestling background, black belt jiu-jitsu, really, really good, really tough. Right now, I think what, fourth, fifth rank right now, no gi?
Yeah, the latest ranking, I was at number 4.
Nice, nice. So competing a lot. So I mean, we're only what, in May? How many tournaments have you done so far this year?
I don't even know. I lost track, man.
You've been to Brazil a couple times already.
Yeah, like 3 times in the year already.
Amazing. So I guess kind of let's just go back. Back in the day, you had the gym. You were actually working for the guys that ran the gym, Ken and Jason, and then things happened, and that gym kind of dissolved, and then you want to kind of tell the story from kind of when you kind of started back up with kind of running the gym, and how you kind of got to the spot you're at now to be able to compete.
Yeah, well, I mean, like you said, I've kind of been involved in wrestling my whole life, and then I got involved in jiu-jitsu too because I missed being on the mats and the community aspect of it, and just like the workout part of it. And yeah, I was teaching and training in another gym, and things kind of fell apart with it. It wasn't really ran very well, I would say. It wasn't really their full-time thing, you know what I mean? So. They were great instructors, great people, and did a lot for me, helped me a lot. But at the time when that place went out of business and those guys kind of went their own separate ways, I was also unemployed. So it was, perfect time for me to kind of put my life's passion and work into play. And I couldn't get hired by anybody else. No one else wanted to hire me. So, I'm doing myself.
Uh-huh.
It was like the perfect time. I had nothing else going for me. And honestly, man, like when I opened my gym, I remember there was a very special defining moment for me. I actually got evicted with my wife and 2 kids. I lived on this farmhouse in Thurmont. You know where Thurmont's at.
Yep.
I got evicted with a wife and 2 kids when I was in the process of opening up a gym. I started in a real small Taekwondo studio. Found a place. The guy let me sublease it for 6 months. That way I wasn't like, all the way in for 5 years. And there was like these old Taekwondo mats on the floor. I was ready to go. Gave it a shot. Yeah, we eventually moved to a bigger location. And man, the problem with that place, or the place I'm at now, was like, wow, how do I fill this place? I had this 6,000 square foot space. Didn't really have any programs in place or anything. I was just kind of like following my passion, just teaching. I didn't know what I was doing, man. I just tried to figure one little thing out every single day.
That's
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I mean, I know like back then you were, you were putting in a lot of hours. Like you were doing the classes, you were doing personal training, like pretty much everything that you could to kind of pay the bills and get as much money to come into the business as you could. You were doing a lot of the back end stuff. So you weren't competing as much then. You weren't kind of traveling as much. That was kind of like your grind time. Is that what you'd kind of say it was?
Yeah, man, I didn't have any other time to do anything. It was, that was brutal. It was 20, 22-hour days sometimes. I didn't have any money when I started. So, I had to show up and try to figure out a way to make money every day. No one was giving it to me anymore. I wasn't collecting a check. I had to do it myself. So I also have a degree in exercise science. And I started out, in my early 20s working in gyms. So I bought some dumbbells and stuff and, small amount of stuff. I started off with like body weight exercise, training people like that. Then I bought some bands. Then I bought some dumbbells. I just kept like putting that little bit of personal training money back into that. And then eventually I got busy enough with those people that I was like, man, I'm running out of time here. Why not just do a fitness class? So, formed the boxing for fitness and boot camp class on top of, teaching my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class. And then in my free time, like, at the end of the day when I wasn't here, which was like 6 a.m. in the morning till 10 a.m. at night trying to make this work, I would jump in my car and then drive Uber for God knows how many hours some nights just to try to get enough money to take care of my wife and 2 kids. So, I couldn't, and I didn't have any time. I didn't know how to do it, It's just trying to figure one thing out and not giving up on it, man. Just keep every day.
Man, I didn't even know about the Uber thing. Wow, you were all over the place.
Yeah. Thankfully, I don't have to drive Uber anymore.
And talking about, I remember like when you were saying like didn't have any money. I remember when we were first starting our fitness class. Also, like we didn't have any equipment either. We were like, doing like air punching and holding mitts and stuff. And then we got like folding chairs. We had folding chairs on the mats that people would crawl under and shit as part of the workouts.
Dude, I've been there. How it works. You gotta find a way.
Yeah, just had to come up with something. When you don't have money, a lot of times you can be creative.
That's right, man. That's one thing that I noticed. It makes you very creative.
So that time kind of building that up. I mean, that was a couple years, I guess you were kind of in that spot, right?
Yeah, man, probably a good 2.5, 3 years just grinding away nonstop before I think I collected my first, real paycheck from here. Yeah.
And during that time, you're just building the classes, building your team up. I mean, you got a lot of great, I know a lot of your guys, you got a lot of great guys that help you out, Rob, Terry, E and all those guys down there are all great. So you kind of during that time are building those guys up and kind of hiring people and kind of taking little spots off of your plate, I guess.
Yeah, man, it's just kind of how it works. First it was Terry Bartholomew. He was at the time he was working a job and lost his job, and he was trying to work be a professional fighter. And he came in and, all of a sudden he took my cleaning job away from me. So I was able to give him something, he started cleaning the gym and I gave him a couple $100 every couple weeks. And now all of a sudden the guy's doing the same thing I was doing. He's full time. And now we got Rob. Rob is the same way. He was just here coaching a little bit. Now he's full time too. So we got, a few of us instead of just myself now I've got more people than myself that know how to do everything here. So
that's great.
Yeah. So it allows me to just kind of go compete and not have to worry about it because they know what to do. They know how to, run the classes and they know exactly what the programs are, what they're supposed to teach every single day, what, how to sell something, how to sell a membership, how to sell gear. They know how to do everything.
That's awesome. So, and it wasn't overnight. It was a process. It was again, a year or 2 years that kind of you were building those teams and teaching those guys how to do that kind of stuff to be able to get so you would have that time. I guess during that time, a lot of people don't know, but you were our first official Academy King. Like you saw some of the stuff that we were doing. You know, you came up, you got some of the information. We did some trainings together and stuff. And then, would you say like at that time is when you really started to make more money and then start to hire and be able to do some of those things?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. That was a big changing moment. You know, that was a. I remember at the time I was like, man, am I gonna put some money into this? But it was something I was looking into too. You know, something else that I was looking into just help. You know, I got to the point where, um, you know, I felt like I was just kind of spinning my wheels a little bit, I guess. You know, help with doing Facebook marketing and Instagram marketing and, you know, how to sell some stuff and package some things. So, yeah, man, I think everybody needs some type of mentor or some type of guidance, I guess you could say, when they're getting started with this kind of thing.
Yeah, and I would say like if you guys, anybody on the call, if you guys have questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments. If you're on here now, say hi in the comments. Let us see. I can't really see on StreamYard who's watching and who's not, but go ahead and drop a hello in the comments. If you have questions for Chris or myself, drop them in there. If you don't follow Chris on like Instagram or Facebook or whatever, you really should. Like he is one of the best guys that I know. That does organic kind of like content, pushing out that creative all the time. You know, you crush me when it comes to like posting stuff. Like it's amazing how well you do it. Like you always build cool stories, you build cool posts, and you have a really amazing story. Like I said, kind of traveling around, seeing all the fruit and food of the world, and so if you don't follow Chris, definitely check him out on Instagram. Really amazing kind of just organic kind of content creator on there. Do you have any tips for people on that? Like how you got good at that or how you discipline yourself to take those pictures and
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's something that I'm actually just trying to get better at. You know, I'm just playing around with it, and I'm not an expert in any way or means. I just try to make it a habit of just sharing some stuff every day, and it's not my favorite thing to do, to be honest with you. You know, it's I don't know, just kind of makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm actually kind of like a quiet type of person. You know, I don't like to share a whole bunch of stuff. Uh, I don't know, just sharing kind of like my everyday stuff, my life and my travels, and yeah,
that
man, yeah,
that's
just
good.
because I love.
That yeah, because you couldn't tell by the just by the stories. Like it just seems natural for you to do it. It seems like, you know, it's something that you're really comfortable with. I'm kind of the same way, but I actually just don't do the post. I can only do the ads I'm good at, but doing the lifestyle post, I just always fall short on that. So I need to take a page out of your book on that and get better at that. Cedric is on here. He said he's got the same problem, not wanting to post and stuff. Um, cool. So I guess how did you get into, you know, obviously you wrestled and things like that, and you love competing. What kind of got you on that quest to say like, man, I'm going to compete as much as I can? Like, was it just you had the money from the gym? Like, and if you guys don't know, like Chris isn't a paid athlete, like from, you know, some big sponsorship. Like he does this all out of his pocket from the gym. So, you know,
All right, there are
so yeah, it's not like he's getting paid to go fly around.
you got to sponsor yourself, man. You got to work for it.
Yeah.
Gets you. You
Yep.
know? But yeah.
Any what kind of got you on that thing? You just, I know we went on that first trip to Brazil together. We had a fun time. Was that one of the things that kind of spurred you to be like, I want to travel more? Or
Yeah, I mean, well, as far as competing goes, I've been competing in wrestling since I was 6 years old. And I wrestled a little bit in college, and you know, it's just been part of my existence, I guess you can say. I've been doing it my whole life. So, um, yeah, it's something that was always still in me. I always felt like unfulfilled from wrestling, and then when I got into jiu-jitsu, I just completely fell in love with it, and I wanted to continue to compete. And I always felt like, you know, I was always really confident in myself and my abilities, and I thought I could do extremely well. if I put the amount of time into it and gave it an honest effort and an honest go. So it's always something that I wanted to go after. It's just now at this point in my life, I now have kind of like some things in place and I'm able to do it, man. So I'm going to give it everything I got until, right now I'm planning on just hitting the pause button in the end of 2021 and see where I'm at, and then maybe go from there.
Have you done the
Yeah,
math? Can you make it to that first place number?
I don't think it's possible. There's so many good guys out there that are just constantly nipping at your heels too. So it's like, it could be like a never-ending rat race. At what point is like enough?
Yeah.
Or how long are you going to continue to do that? When are you going to be fulfilled and satisfied? But that isn't my main goal. It's not necessarily climbing. My main goal is not necessarily climbing the top rankings. It's definitely one of my goals, but I've always wanted to travel and see the world. So I'm able to combine the two, my passion of just grappling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with seeing the world, getting to do Jiu-Jitsu all over the world and, go to these fantastic cities and the birthplace of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu like Rio. And I mean, it's just amazing. Eat all the most amazing foods and just experience other cultures and other places. Life's short, man, so do with it what you want. I plan to, travel and compete, and it's just kind of, I don't know. It's my dream, I guess, and thankfully I'm living it.
Nice. So we were going to do this interview tomorrow, but Chris will be flying tomorrow at this time. So going to Memphis, you said?
Yeah, Memphis. Yeah.
Nice. And you'll compete on Sunday there?
Yeah, compete on Sunday, and then, just walk around the city, see Memphis. I heard Memphis is awesome, blues, jazz, barbecue. Just get to experience the culture of, just another city, another place, and get to do what I love to do.
Awesome. So have you been to any other places other, obviously United States, Brazil, any other countries, any other places that you've been competing?
Yeah, so I've competed in Amsterdam and competed in Ireland. I had plans to compete in Paris and London before COVID, but those tournaments got canceled from last year, so I was registered. And so, yeah, that was the plan, man. I want to go all over the place,
Nice.
I want to see it all and do it all for as long as I possibly can.
Good. So I use your story a lot. When I'm talking to people and kind of, selling the program or talking about the program, just because I think, a lot of people come in to the business side of it and they just focus on growing that business. And, they want to go from, I think you were probably in the 15, 20 range and then went up to 30, 40 range. And then you were kind of like step back and then you started kind of focusing on that competition and traveling and things like that, where other people would focus on the business. So I really look at you as like a kind of a lifestyle business guy. Like you have a great business. It's providing you a good living. But then you also have the ability to travel and have the ability to do these things that you love and that you want. So I think it's a really cool story. Anything that you can kind of talk to on that, as far as like, you kind of said it even with the competing, like when's enough? And is it like the same with business? Like when you feel comfortable, is that the time to kind of maybe back off and start to do some of these other things? Or when did you kind of just say like, okay, like I'm good. I'm going to start traveling a little bit. Was there a number? Was there a comfort level or something that maybe came along?
Well, you definitely have to have the money to travel for sure. But, like you said before, I got to a certain point and I just started and it just kept building and I just kept chipping away. And like you said, just kept chopping the wood. Just keep chopping the wood. And then I got some people to help me and I taught them how to do what I was doing, and just making sure you have programs in place because, unfortunately sometimes people come and go. So you need to have like a program that stays in place, and then you teach people how to run those programs, and then just continue to just try to refine them and get better at them. And but definitely, man, just building a good solid team, putting a good solid team in place with some programs in place, and and then working with you guys. So,
Well, I appreciate that. Well, cool, man. I know you got a lot of stuff going on. I don't want to hold you. Like I said, I just think it's a really cool story. I wanted people to, I talk a lot about business. I talk a lot about growing a business and, kind of keep moving through that business. But I don't talk a lot about the lifestyle side of it. So I think like what you have is a cool story. I'm glad I can be a part of it in a way and kind of be able to travel sometimes with you. And, we just took that Brazil trip before COVID. So that was, again, another fun trip. And having those times together is always good. I love having you part of the team. I think you're a monster on the mat. So that's always good to have around. One of the other things that I don't know if you've already booked it out or not, but Chris was also doing some free seminars for some of the guys around here that kind of like, hey, help you out for COVID stuff. Did you book all those out, or are you still doing those?
Well, I haven't solidified anything yet, just because my schedule's been a little crazy. Like I'm scheduled to compete quite a bit over the next few months, so I'm not sure right now with my availability. But yeah, I'm definitely open, man, for sure. Like you said, when all this stuff happened, I told a lot of people that I would be more than happy to come in and teach if we ever open back up. With the way things were so uncertain at the time, and that's what I did, man. So I've taught 5 free classes, seminars, whatever you want to call them. All stuff that I like to do in competition, a lot of armbar stuff, and some back attacks and stuff like that. But I'm definitely open, sure, absolutely.
And if I know he said he had one more left, and if he didn't get that booked, you got one more left. Shane, you better get on him. But even if he runs out of his last one that he's got for the free one, he's an amazing practitioner. Amazing coach. He's very detail oriented, like knows specific grips, positions, all those things. So teaches really, really well. So we've had him here a few times. So if you are in the area, or if you guys down in Memphis, if you're going to be around, reach out to Chris, get him to come by. If not, pay him. He's definitely worth it. Like really, really good wrestler, really, really good black belt in jiu-jitsu, super tough. So definitely worth the time to have Chris out. I'll kind of open it up for anything else, Chris, that you can kind of relay to the audience there. Anything that you want to kind of touch on, or things that you can say, like, if I was going to do one thing, like I would definitely look to do, whatever when it comes to business or lifestyle or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. Appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah, no, it was kind of a last minute thing, but like I said, I've been wanting to get your story out there, and I think it's pretty cool. So where can they find you on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter? What are you on?
My Instagram handle is Bauer House Grappling, and I also the Bauer House MMA Instagram page. You can just find me in Bauer on Facebook.
Cool. So I appreciate it, Chris. Anybody wants to reach out, like I said, amazing seminar, amazing workshop guy. So if you do want to have Chris come out, please reach out to him. Really, really great guy, really great jiu-jitsu. So, he would be more than welcome to come out anywhere. So I do want to just thank you for jumping on with us. People have questions, they can reach out to you, you said?
Yeah, man, anytime. My pleasure.
All right. So I won't hold you any longer. I know you're going to be traveling tomorrow. So just want to thank you again. Anybody, if you have information or questions about Academy Kings, about running a lifestyle business like Chris is, please feel free to reach out. Just put Kings in the comment and we'll get on a call with you. But thank you, Chris, for jumping on. I will kind of wrap it up there. Chris will also, I'll drop his information in the comments below so you can follow him on Instagram and on Facebook. Anything last words, Chris?
That's it, man. I appreciate you having me on, Lance. Appreciate it, man. It's good to see your face too.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Now that it's summer, I'm going to be taking some time off. I got to come up and do a little teaching for you for a little thank you for you coming by our place.
Oh, let's do it, man. We'd love to have you.
Awesome. All right, Chris. Thanks so much, and thanks everybody for jumping on. We will talk to you next week. Thanks,
Awesome.
Chris. Good luck tomorrow or next weekend. See ya.